Hey guys, this is Ash at Audio46. Alright, so today I'll be reviewing InEar ProMission X earphones from Germany. So I haven't really tried out anything from them, and this one is definitely in the upper price range, so I'm really excited to test these out. Alright, let's start. InEar ProMission X comes with the earphones with 3.5mm braided cable, 4 pairs of silicone ear tips, 3 pairs of Comply foam tips, gold-plated adapter, 3 cleaning cloth, InEar hard leather case, tool for changing sound settings, earwax filter, drying cap, manual, and warranty. The ProMission X sports 10 balanced armature drivers with a 4-way crossover. Okay guys, so in terms of the design, to be completely honest, before I opened the box, I kind of expected, the German typical industrial, straight up, raw and simple design, but I was actually surprised because look at these. It's so colorful and actually really pretty. This glossy finish with half purple and half sky blue palette kind of reminds me of the sky during the day and night, with the help of little specks of gold in the purple section and white in the sky blue section, which also reminds me of the clouds during the day and the stars during night. So I think it's pretty artistic of them to come up with a design like this. Other than that, I do like the weight of these earphones. These are pretty light and the cables are super thin yet durable, so I think these could be used in any occasions without, too much worries about breaking it or whatnot. Okay, so in terms of the fit, so the housings are comparatively big, so I was a little skeptical about how it'll fit in my ears. But once I found the right location, right fitting, not location, these were super comfortable and super sound isolating. The sound isolation was honestly better than just regular earplugs. Yeah, and other than that, I did also like how these round edges and folds fit right into the shape of my ears. I'll show you that in a close-up right after this. So I couldn't complain about the fit and the design. So overall, I think these are definitely one of my favorite in terms of that. Okay guys, so I personally think these have one of the best low ends I've ever heard on anything, because it definitely has a great presence of bass and enough oomph to kind of create this satisfying feel, and there is great warmth and richness to the low end too. But most importantly, what makes these so different from other earphones personally is that with every aspect of low end, for example, the drive, bass presence, the warmth, the richness, the punchiness, and all that, it really is perfectly controlled. So it just hits the nail and is so well balanced. It's kind of like those sashimi platters with just the right number of slices for each kind so that it doesn't ruin the overall balance of the taste. On top of that, what I found great about the low end on these is that there is a good substance in the tonality, so it kind of gives you this majestic and fluid feel to the overall sound. Okay, so I found these sounding best with pretty much all the genres, but personally, I liked it extra on hip-hop because it really gives that satisfying feel with the drive and punchiness. And I highly recommend you guys checking out French Montana's new album on these. Okay guys, so I was definitely more than satisfied with the mids too, because the resolution and presentation was especially outstanding. It was very pure and clean and clear. And also the sound of instruments and the vocals were just perfectly balanced and pronounced just the right amount, so you could hear every sound very clearly and perfectly. Another thing is that the mids in general, it didn't sound sterile at all, but instead it actually sounded bold with great body, of course with the sound help of SOUNDSTAGE, and I'll get to SOUNDSTAGE in a bit. And lastly, just like the lows, it was a little bit warm, but definitely not too warm. Okay guys, so once again, what stood out to me the most in the highs was the balance. It was just perfectly balanced and controlled, and in general, it did have a great crisp to the sound, but it was never too bright or sharp to the point that it hurts your ear. Also, what I noticed is that the female vocal sounded especially nice because it was never too velvety, or it didn't have too much weight to it, but instead there is a sense of airiness and transparency in the overall sound, so I did really like that part. I would say it sounded great with all the genres because it did really sound great with any type of genres, but I found these sounding the best with classical music and instrumental tracks and EDM because it really brought out the true nature of the sound of the instruments. Lastly, it was never rolled off. The sound was very accurate and clear. Okay guys, so I think the soundstage on these were by far the most interesting and probably the best I've ever heard, because not only the space is incredibly vast, the sense of dimension was just amazing. With all the three aspects of the dimensions, there are so many clear gradations to it along each axis, so I just don't know how to explain. It felt almost alien in a very good way. Another thing is that the placement of the sound of the instruments and vocal was so meticulously placed with correct measurement, accurate measurement and distance. So it was almost like I could place visually where each sound was coming from. Like I could hear this instrument here and that instrument right here. I'm doing my best to explain, but I feel like you guys just have to try these out and see it for yourself or hear it for yourself. Yeah, and last thing about the soundstage is that although it felt very spacious and deep and like wide and all that, at the same time, the sound of instruments and vocals still felt intimate enough. Yeah, so I think with all the frequencies, I think soundstage was my favorite part. My final thoughts. Okay guys, I would say if you have the funds, go for it. To be honest, when I see products that are like super high price range, some of them make me wonder like if those are really actually worth it. But these I think is totally worth the price because in terms of precision, balance, resolution, soundstage, the quality of the earphones itself, with everything, I think is just top notch. I think these are one of my favorites, to be honest. Yeah, so guys, I would highly recommend it. Okay guys, that was it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my review and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.